Hey guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. I don't know what happened. I had two other parts attached to this video. I can't seem to find them in the camera, they're gone. So, I must have deleted them when I was cleaning house. Guys, it's a 16 pill sling blade. It's in a completely custom purple vinyl wrap cabinet. This thing was full of a bunch of junk, so we ripped it all out. And I wanted to show it to you before I went and washed it, do a little bit of before and after. And no, it's not missing the flybacks. Like, I didn't take them out, they just never were installed. So we're going to go through and we'll fill this up with 5 ohmers. All the output and input resistors are going to change over to 5 ohmers. The output combiner ring we're going to change to 5 ohmers. The input combiner ring was completely smoked. This has had a couple pills changed in it. This would be one of them. It's just dirty. I think it's dirty, and it's built with about 18-year-old construction ideas on the inside. It had a pretty piss-ass relay in it too. And this was the lead going off to the actual coax connector. You can't use solid wire there. And there's a bunch of other stuff we're doing. We're going to change power wires because they're all faded and gross and nasty. And we're just going to give it a little bit of a facelift. Had solid core wire that was going from the positive bus rail, like this, over to the back of the transformers. We removed all of that too. So let me go give this thing a bath and get all the flux and the 25 plus years worth of garbage off the board. That'll help it a bunch. Then we'll go ahead and we'll start putting her back together and get it all cleaned up. Give me just a minute. Okay, so we gave it a quick bath and we knocked the 7 million years worth of solder flux and dirt and filth and grime and grit off this thing and cleaned it up. Now, as I pan back, you'll see that the center portion of the board here on both sides is discolored, and that's from heat distortion. The heat transferring into the copper and changing its annealing. So it's been heat treated by just the friggin' heat sink cooking heat through the board. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put all new power wire in it. So we're gonna get the bottom side done first, and then we're gonna throw some resistors in line, and we're gonna rebuild this combiner that was broken. This one came in and it was split. God, I wish I could find the first intro videos for this, but I looked in the computer and they're not in the memory on the camera, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. So do power wires, then we're going to do all the buffering resistors and the splitting and the combining resistors and all that kind of stuff. We're going to put a new relay on it, and then we'll come back through and then we'll put my form of the distribution network for the power in here with the wires that run over the top of the transformers, that kind of thing. So on that note, peace, yo. I'll be back. Okay, your new backbone or spine is installed, and I went ahead and I put on the 36 inches worth of wire that you requested. And now we're going to flip it over and we're going to overhaul the top side. Shit's always got to be zip tied or wired, you guys, or zip tied or tied. You guys know this. Come on, we all watched the video. The amplifier that let the flames come out. So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let's flip it over and start making parts for the top side. I swore to myself I wasn't going to do this time. I do this every time. I'll go and I'll put all the resistors in, then I'm going to stuff the wire in there, and it's actually more of a headache than what it works out to be. So, okay, Ron, here's where we're at. These were repurposed, I do believe, out of a Dave made. Okay. They're all junk. They're flatter than flat, so I'm going to put new caps in. These are Dave made heat sinks, old school Dave made heat sinks. But this is like in an X-Force cabinet. The thing that throws me for a loop, Ron, is the lid. It doesn't... The little louvered thing. I'll show you when I get around to doing the lid. Anyhow, I've officially removed my last part from here. I've started putting parts back in. I rebuilt this combiner over here. So the next step is we're going to do all the power wires for the distribution network, and then we're going to put resistors through the whole thing and get this thing ready to go. So we've officially hit the turnaround point from where we started, ripped it all down, pulled everything off, we changed all your power wire, and now we're going to put it back together. So give me just a minute, and through magic, this thing's going to have some bling on the inside of it. Give me just a second, we'll be back. Day number 2. Let's see, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, it's all put back together now. Believe it or not, this is about a 98% completed amplifier. New relay, new tuning tube, all new power distribution. Actually, it's got all the right resistors in the right places. Everything's been hooked up. Every cap's been checked. It's been cleaned, washed, and pretty much about 70% of the amp has been reflowed. So now what we do is we take this and we put it back in its cabinet. And we're going to start putting this thing literally back together. This won't take an awful lot of time. So on that note, we're going to take this and put it back in its tin. And this tin is this god-awful purple cabinet. But it'll work. So less talky, more do. Away we go. Okay guys, so here's the cabinet this thing came in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the coax connectors out because they're pretty worn out. And it ain't nothing to slap 2 new coax connectors in there. And LED was bad, and I'm going to replace the grommets over here. They're down here for the power wires. Just a little bit of cabinet prep. Now, I got to go through and I got to PIM nut these because the crimp nuts that were in here have been knocked out a long time ago. And then I got to go through and I got to thread chase these with this tap, which is a 632 tap, and make sure we're set. I've dug all the hardware back out of this thing. This thing was completely full of all the parts, and I just went ahead and I just shit canned them real quick. There's no point in reusing them. Here's all your old caps that came out of another amplifier that somebody had repurposed into yours. I shit can that too. Alright, give me a minute. We're going to do some case maintenance here. We'll get this thing put back together the right way. So let's see, where did we leave off? Oh yeah, I was going to do the power wires. So I did the power wires for you, Ron, and put the 350 amp Anderson clip on it. A little bit too small, but it'll get by. I'm sitting here playing at the moment. Let's establish a baseline. So this is just the 2-pill. 5,000 watt slug and peak, 5,000 watt slug and average, 5 watt slug and reverse back in the bird, 10,000 watt dummy load. So let me show you what I'm putting into this for drive. 400 and some watts. Average numbers. Like next to nothing. So check this out. This box is screaming. That's 3,500 peak. And about what? 15, 1,600 average. 23, or pardon me, 32, 3,300 watts peak, and that's on the derail radio from Wolfman Radio there. Let me change drive radios to a 2-pill. Turn the 16-pill off again. Now we're going to hit the 2-pill with the 955, which will make it do a little bit more peak power, but the average numbers are going to fall off. Just a little bit more drive, maybe another 75 watts. Watch the result difference here. Audio. 3,800 peak power. About about 1300 average. A good solid 3800. And that's hitting it with a 2-pill. Let me go grab a 4-pill. Okay, I gotta do fairness on this. So I'm testing at the 14 volts on in the amp. So let me hook up my voltmeter here real quick. Do quote unquote due diligence here. This thing is screaming. This is the last test I'm going to do on it, and then I got to put the fans on it. Okay, so this is on 14 flat. We're going to hit it with the 955. It's a 1000 watt slug in 5X, so 5000 watts. Right out 1 kW. 200 or 300 bird. Okay, so right now the power supply is at 15.9. Watch what happens when we modulate. Watch. So we're like 14.5, 14.7. Check this out. 4,500 watts or so. Still lower than that derail radio though when it comes to average numbers. Wants to go further. Wants to go further. So let's see. No, that'd be too much drive. I was thinking about taking the derail radio, running it into the 2-pill, running it into the bench 4-pill. I don't think I got a bench 2x4 laying around here. I sold the last one. If I drive everything too hard, I'd end up blowing up all my hard work here. So let's see what this does with just the derail radio hitting the 4-pill. Audio. About 750. So let's see what we get out of it for peak numbers of the derail radio. Quite a high enough dead key. BBI. Look at the volts. Well, I hope your power supply can carry this run. But it's obviously working just fine. Last step. Fans. Those little fans in this thing are actually doing a fairly decent job. A little bit smaller than I like, but they're moving enough air. This is it, dude. I think we're done with this purple monster. I mean, this is literally how to polish a turd, BBI style. I spent better part of 2 days on this thing, working on it, playing with it, getting it all just perfect. Stripped it all the way down to almost nothing, took the board out, cleaned it all, polished it all, redid all the power system for you, and you're back up and running. Now, we're on the 955, hitting it with the bench 4-pill. Putting, like I showed you before, a 280 bird, 1,000 watts. BBI got down. BBI got down. BBI got down. BBI got down. 4,500, 4,800 watts. 16-pill. Just with a little bit of drive. Gentlemen, my name is BBI. And I'm here to tell you, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come check me out. www.bbimps.com. Now listen to me. Listen. This is important. I cannot store any more amplifiers that don't have names attached to them. I've got some amps that have been here for almost 2 years, and I have no contact information for the owners. People have sent me their amps for me to work on them, and they have not sent me any contact information. If you have an amplifier that's in my shop right now that's here for repair, call me, contact me, shoot me a text. Let's make sure that we got everybody's information verified. I'm up to almost 30 amplifiers in-house where people have sent me stuff with no phone numbers, no return addresses, no information. They're just hanging out. So if you send me something, please, for the love of God, take 2 seconds and write your name and a phone number down on a piece of paper. You are going to tape it to the top of the amplifier and you're going to send it to me. That way I know how to get a hold of you. It's a very simple process here. And I'm running out of room to store amps. I don't get to be here and do all this fun stuff unless you guys send me projects. I can't work on the projects unless I can talk to the customer to say, hey man, this is what we need to get done. So, on that note, please, for the love of God, if you send me anything, take a minute, put a piece of paper in there with your phone number. And I'm not talking to like post-it note. Take a piece of paper and write your name and number on it like adults, please. Guys, I gotta go. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta get on today. The next thing I'm gonna work on is I think 1x4, what is this thing? It's a 1x4 X-Force Nemesis. That's coming up next. So guys, I appreciate all your support, all your love, everything you guys do to help me do this for you. I'm on to the next one. If you're checking this video out for the very first time, please take a minute. If you like what you've seen, click subscribe. Help me, help everybody else. Gentlemen, I gotta get. I'll see you. On to the next one. Ron, thank you very much, my friend. I'm looking forward to building you your 32 pill here in the future. I'll see ya.